So apparently, on January 1, I'm supposed to go ahead and start introducing myself to the world. What's kind of funny is that didn't really plan on doing this, but it seems like I have to. Well, you guys ever heard of magic? A wizard? Greatest thing ever. Well, I got something I want to share with you. This is a story of us in creation. Now, what I'm going to do as dolphin as I can. I thought about doing it every day, but I probably be just too lazy to do that because I just don't want to feel like doing it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start demonstrating how I make the word come alive. And when I mean the word, I mean the Bible, or in that turn, I mean God. So, this being January 1st, I will start off with 1 1. Seems evident enough. And we'll go back with in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now the earth was formless and void. God's spirit was in the darkness and hovered over the waters deep. I think that's something like that. Then I'm going to do another one, John 1 1. It says, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. Well, I'll start with the second one first. And I find that kind of interesting because it's 15 words. It's 6, 5, and 4. So it sequentially gets smaller. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. And I find that interesting because these 15 words I find are also representative of the 15 steps at King Tut's tomb in the Valley of the Kings, or wherever it was located that was buried. I'll get to that in a later video, but it's important to understand who King Tut was and how this monotheism came about and what his reign represented. But those 15 words are also the first 15 words in John 1 1. And in John 1 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, as I said countless times before. Well, how do you make the Word? You make the Word by writing. And how do you write? You use your hands. So now, if you know that God's Spirit hovered over the waters deep, and we represent Jesus as the Pisces or the fish, well, then God's Spirit has got to be the Aquarius because the water is the giver of life. So now everyone carries the mark of the beast or the return of God's date, which will be 210 because you have two hands and 10 fingers, or February 10th, which is coincidentally my birthday. I find that kind of unique. So everyone carries the mark of the beast. Crazy enough, I am that beast. Well, with that said, I'll go back to Genesis 1 1. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now the earth was formless and void, and God's spirit hovered over the waters deep. Something like that. I think I may have missed a part, but it's immaterial. Well, in the beginning is just an acronym for God created heaven and earth. In the beginning is the formula. God Elohim, or God night I, night I, God Elohim boulder. So an earthly God. The is just earth, heaven, two celestial bodies, or two realities, earth and heaven. The, and then in, night I. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. So the in the beginning is just an acronym or formula for God created the heavens and earth. And I hope that makes sense. But in the beginning, Ginnineg, or EB, beginning, in reverse. So if you look at it reverse, spell it backwards, you'll see it. Now, when it says the earth was formless and void, well, what are you dealing with? Well, formless and void takes on a chemical concept and our reaction. And think of it as fire. Fire is formless and void. So in the beginning, the earth was fire. And so when you look at our planet Earth, what is it? It's just magma, and it's constantly on fire. Well, what did God do? Is He put water around it to create form. And so just take, for example, the volcano that happened out in Hawaii. What does that lava do when it hits water? It creates a solid base. Well, that's just the same thing here. But from an interesting standpoint, also the earth was formless and void. Well, that's also what? Two subjects. And if you look from an astrological standpoint, who gives birth to twins? Well, it's the Gemini. So the earth is Gemini star sign. And I say that because we have Pisces as Jesus, we have God as the Aquarius, hence Pisces, or excuse me, hence Gemini is the Earth. And now God's spirit hovered over the waters deep. Well, hovering over the waters deep means that his spirit is in water. And from a chemical standpoint, you have oxygen and some kind of fuel, and you create fire. Well, God's spirit is also hydrogen and oxygen. So you have chemistry because you know that his spirit over the waters deep. But what is water? It's H2O. So you're dealing with hydrogen and oxygen. So anyway, that is my explanation for the day, is trying to show how you bring the word to life. And I hope this is just one of many, and I hope it made sense. But if you have any questions or anything like that, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I will be free to ask and answer anything, and hope to hear from you soon, and I hope I'll be able to provide another one shortly. But that's Genesis 1:1 and John 1:1, explaining the astrological and the chemistry aspects of both of these, and how our human bodies, hands, there's one, ooh, there's two. Everyone carries the mark of the beast. A lot of you idiots don't know how to read the Bible, and I don't know how some of these pastors make money claiming that they do, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm wrong, I hope I gave you a little better explanation of clarity of how to read the Bible. But if I'm right, ooh, I feel sorry for a lot of you guys who've prostituted yourself for the word. Peace.